Like cheese and cured meat, sausage was invented to simply make fresh food last longer. These days you can find sausage all over the world in a surprising array of shapes and flavors. From Jimmy Dean breakfast patties to Bratwurst to hot dogs, even bologna. Sausage covers a lot of foods. Sausage is ground meat or meat alternative that is usually salted, seasoned, and sometimes forced into a natural or synthetic casing. Sausage is thought to come from the Latin word salus, meaning salted, which is just one of the ways sausages were preserved. They can also be smoked, fermented, or even raw. So today, I'm looking for every style of sausage that I can find. But before I jump in, and if you're feeling fancy, be sure to subscribe to Come to Cheesus. Cheesus will bless you for this. And after watching the video, let me know in the comments below what other sausages I may have missed. Okay, this is going to be a real sausage party, and for once, that's a good thing. Merz is a spicy red sausage originating from the Maghreb region of Africa. It consists of raw lamb or beef spiced with cumin, sumac, fennel, garlic, and harissa, stuffed into a lamb intestine casing, then grilled. Merz skyrocketed in popularity in 1960s France, accompanying a wave of immigration from Algiers. In France, merguez is served in a dish called couscous royale. Not sure if that's with cheese. It's also eaten in sandwiches with a side of fries. Merguez sandwiches are so popular in France that you can find them in French McDonald's. Oui. Sai Ua comes from Thailand. The name literally translates to stuffed intestine. It's a pretty apt name. The sausage is made by stuffing intestines, and you end up eating so many of these things, your intestines get stuffed. The sausage is stuffed with minced pork, herbs, spices, and red curry paste. It has a nice, rough, and rustic texture. Sai Ua is grilled and then eaten as an appetizer or a meal served with sticky rice, and it's extremely popular in northern Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos. There's more than one way to define an andouille sausage. For most people in the US, when they talk about andouille, they're referring to the coarse-grained smoked pork sausage popular through the South and Cajun country. That andouille is heavily spiced with garlic, pepper, onion, wine, and other seasonings, and is featured in dishes like jambalaya and gumbo. Cajun andouille originally came from andouille sausage in France. That old-school French andouille is an extremely coarse-grained sausage made from pork intestine or chitterlings and is pungent to downright stinky. Oh! Bratwurst is the sausage of South Africa. If you're having sausage in South Africa, it's probably going to be Bratwurst. Bratwurst translates to farmer sausage in Afrikaans. Bratwurst is a coarse-grained, almost chunky sausage seasoned with coriander, black pepper, nutmeg, allspice, and dark vinegar. The South African government regulates that in order to be called Bratwurst, it must contain at least 90% meat or fat from beef, pork, lamb, or goat, with 10% made up of spices and other ingredients. At most, 30% of the meat content can be fat. Hold on to your butts, because this is going to shock you. Blood sausage is made with blood.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, not why?
Okay, I hope you've gotten over yourself. Good. Blood sausage is a sausage type that actually covers a pretty wide array of sausages. Blood sausage is cooked or dried and mixed with some sort of filler, like meat, fat, rice, bread, cornmeal, onion, chestnuts, barley, oatmeal, or buckwheat. Popular blood sausages include black pudding in the UK, Budan Rouge or Budan Noir in France, and moronga in some Latin American countries. Bratwurst is the big boy of sausages. Some people confusingly refer to any sausage as a Bratwurst or Brat, but true Bratwurst is a subset of German sausage, usually made with pork and sometimes beef or veal. Bratwurst comes from the Old High German language, Brat meaning finely chopped meat and Wurst meaning sausage. Bratwurst has been around for hundreds of years. Germany's cold winters led its inhabitants to develop a variety of ways of preserving meats, leading to its sausage-making traditions. There are about 40 different types of Bratwurst in Germany. In the US, brats dominate the upper Midwest, especially in Wisconsin, home of the BRwor. That's a brat simmered in, wait for it, beer. Breakfast sausage is that classic American breakfast staple, available in every Denny's, IHOP, Waffle House, or Cracker Barrel, from sea to shining sea. Breakfast sausage is a fresh sausage usually made from pork and seasoned with black pepper and sage, and sometimes maple syrup, bacon, or cayenne pepper. It sometimes can be referred to as farmer or country sausage and can come in patty or link form. Breakfast sausage can be pan-fried, grilled, or even, if you're staying at a hotel with a continental breakfast, microwaved. It is also used to make sausage gravy, which goes great over some biscuits. Chorizo is one of those foods that can mean different things depending on where you are. Spanish chorizo and Mexican chorizo are two totally different sausages. Mexican chorizo is typically made from ground or minced pork and chili peppers. The casing is broken and bits of chorizo get nice and crispy and charred to make popular breakfast dishes like huevos con chorizo. Spanish chorizo is a fermented, cured smoked sausage that gets a deep red hue from smoked paprika. It often includes herbs, seasonings, and wine. Spanish and Portuguese chorizo is a popular tapas dish. A lot of people tend to think sausages as one thing and hot dogs as another. But hey, let's give hot dogs their due. They deserve that sausage classification. Actually, a hot dog can be one of two kinds of sausages: a Vienna sausage, also called a Wiener, or Frankfurter or Frank. Both of these made their way to the States by German immigrants. They are parboiled sausages that can be cooked by grilling, steaming, or boiling. Hot dog styles can vary state to state, but generally they're served in a split bun with mustard, onion, and for those willing to commit sacrilege, ketchup. Mamma mia, that's a spicy sausage. As you may have guessed, an Italian sausage in the US and an Italian sausage in Italy are two different things. If you ask for an Italian sausage in Italy, first of all, they're going to wonder why you're speaking English, and then there's going to be quite a few to choose from. In the United States, Italian sausages are typically made with pork and seasoned with fennel or anise. They typically come in hot, mild, or sweet. Hot has red pepper flakes and sweet has basil. And who can resist a sausage and peppers sandwich? Kielbasa is any sausage that comes from Poland. In the United States, Polish sausage and kielbasa are pretty much used interchangeably. Most Polish sausage you'll find is coarsely ground, U-shaped smoked sausage. US kielbasa is very similar to a popular sausage in Poland called wajka. Kielbasa came to the US from Polish, Czech, Ukrainian, and Croatian immigrants. All those languages had a similar but slightly different name for the kielbasa, which is why there are multiple spellings of the sausage used across the US and Canada. If you've tried Filipino food, you've had longanisa. Longanisa covers a wide swath of sausages. Any Filipino sausage made with indigenous ingredients can be considered longanisa. The most common meats used are pork, beef, or chicken, but there can be wild cards like tuna. Various regions have their distinct specialties, some sweet, some sour, and some so garlicky you can barely taste the meat. There are other countries with a similar named sausage, like longaniza in Argentina. You can trace Spanish colonization by tracking longaniza and longanisa. Summer sausage is a sausage classification for sausage that does not need to be refrigerated. This is your classic gift basket sausage. Anyone that's ever received a Hickory Farms gift basket as their Christmas bonus should be familiar with summer sausage. Kind of ironic that so many are gifted in the winter. This is usually pork, beef, or venison sausage, and it is always cured. Although the curing method can vary from sausage to sausage. Some are salt cured or dried, and some are smoked. Typical summer sausage seasonings are mustard seeds, black pepper, garlic, salt, or sugar. Eat it with whatever mustard comes in that gift box. There is a plethora of Budan sausage spread across France and the rest of the world. But in this case, we're talking about the Budan you'll find in Cajun country all across Louisiana and southwest Texas. This Budan can be customized with whatever protein is available: venison, gator, crawfish. But the typical Budan contains pork meat, liver, sometimes heart, rice, vegetables, and seasonings stuffed into a pork casing. You can put Budan on crackers with some hot sauce or fry it into some crispy Budan balls. Lewis and Clark's journals talk about an encounter with a French fur trapper that cooked up some Budan Blanc way back in 1805. Winter salami sounds like salami eaten after a nuclear fallout. And who knows, maybe it is. As far as I know, winter salami is a specialty salami from Hungary. Plain old salami is a type of sausage, usually pork, that has been fermented and air-dried. The peasantry of southern, eastern, and central Europe have favored salami because it could be kept without refrigeration for about 45 days after it was cut. Don't confuse salami with salumi, which is a cured Italian meat product served as an antipasto. Salami can be eaten as a salumi, but all salumi is not a salami. Got that? Salamis cover a lot of sausages, from Lebanon bologna, a beef sausage from Pennsylvania, to the pepperonis on your pizza. Winter salami is a cold, air-cured, and smoked Hungarian salami sausage made with Mangalista pork, white pepper, allspice, and other seasonings. Winter salami grows a distinct, noble mold over its casing during the drying process. You may have heard of Anduja if you recently got a fancy pizza place on your side of town. For everyone else, Anduja is a spreadable, spicy sausage from the Calabria region of Italy. That's right, it's a spreadable sausage. That means it has all the good inner stuff from a sausage like pork and fatback trimmings, sun-dried Calabrian chilies and seasonings, but you don't typically eat the casing. It comes in either a jar with no casing or a big soft casing that you can cut open and scoop out the Anduja. Anduja is smoked and aged for 3 to 6 months. Put it on some pizza, some pasta, or spread onto some bread and enjoy. While the US has snack packs of Jello pudding and pudding pops, the UK has some sausages they call pudding. White pudding is the yin to black pudding's yang. That actually doesn't make any sense. No, white pudding is black pudding without the blood. Whereas black pudding mixes blood with suet or fat, oatmeal, barley, or breadcrumbs, white pudding forgoes the blood and simply mixes the oats or grains with pork, fat, and sometimes liver. White pudding is a classic UK dish that has been used for hundreds of years. Other parts of the UK may call this oatmeal pudding or merely pudding. A banger can be a number of different British sausages, made up of pork, lamb, beef, or even vegan alternatives like tofu or seitan. The important thing is that it is served as part of bangers and mash, and preferably in a pub. Bangers and mash is this sausage and mashed potatoes, but it is the quintessential British pub food. Bangers got their name during the First World War. When the sausages were cooked in the pan, their tight skin would sometimes burst, causing them to bang. Sorry, Mike Breen. Bang came from someone else. Kakina is a popular Austrian sausage and was invented fairly recently, in the 1960s. It combines sausage and cheese into one delicious bite. Kakina is 80 to 90% pork or pork-beef mix, and the rest of the sausage is filled with small cubes of cheese, usually Emmentaler. It is similar to kielbasa and is classified as a lightly smoked Bratwurst, meaning that it is parboiled rather than raw. Vienna, Austria is filled with Würstelstands, small food stands that sell hot dogs and sausages. Kakina is one of the more popular offerings. There are quite a few different Chinese sausages out there. One of the most popular and what you're probably going to find most easily in the US is Lup Chong. Lup Chong is a deep red, salty, sweet, hard, dried sausage usually made from pork and pork fat. It is smoked and sweetened, and it's seasoned with things like rose wine. While it's generally sold as raw sausage, it's easy to cook. You can use it in stir fry with vegetables, steam it with your rice, or chop it into some fried rice. So what do you think? What sausages did I miss? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of my other videos only on Come to Cheesus.